simple blood test. Get it done. Prostate cancer is most treatable when it's detected early. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Men, it's your life. That's why it's so important to talk to your doctor about getting tested. If you want info on how to take action, the Prostate Cancer Foundation is here to help. For more than 30 years, PCF, a leader in scientific breakthroughs, has funded cutting-edge research that speeds new treatments into clinics, helping patients live longer with fewer complications. Go to pcf.org to learn more about prostate cancer and how you can advocate for yourself. Remember, it's your life, and it's a simple blood test. Get it done.
You are listening to the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations. 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Okay, I'm done with that. So, I am talking about African history today. So, if you want to hear something else, you're not going to get it. I mean, I'll do my usual top 5 at 5, and we'll chop it up about what's happening in and around Milwaukee. I've been stuck on suburbs because, we keep, Milwaukee is so bad. It's so great. And by the way, somebody teased me the other day and said, why do you use that voice when you talk or when you mock people? I said, because I want you to know it's not me. I'm just saying. Black History Month. So some of the things I want to talk about today really have to do with the civilization of Black history. I think we've forgotten some things. I think we have done some things that, and if you want to talk about any of this, 833-212-1017. I think we have forgotten from whence we've come. We have forgotten that we are of African descent. I'm reminded by my grandfather. I'm reminded by my family. But we forgot that we're from African descent. And with my family being from one of those kingdoms, Beninois, the kingdom of Dahomey, it kind of pierces my thoughts each day. When we hear people talk about, well, you know, people from Africa, you know how they be doing and treating people and doing it, and they only think about stuff and they want to win. And growing up, I didn't know that, but that's the type of thing that was planted in me at a young age. So even when my parents divorced, we were removed from that side of the family. And so we were removed from that, but my grandmother had already dropped that in our spirit to be able to excel and go and be resilient and all that stuff. My eyes are bothering me for some reason. I don't know what that is. I must have ate something I'm allergic to. Uh-oh. And so when we look at African civilization, I want to look at it and talk about it before slavery, because I think people need to understand the power, the prestige, and the prominence of African civilization before slavery. See, you didn't bring people over here that were just savages. And you get tired of watching TV and the movies and the idiocy where we reflect African people through white eyes, through a white experience, through a white expectation. Again, I'll say it again. If you have to pay for it, go see the documentary Poverty, Inc. Matter of fact, I need to figure out a way to have a showing and a viewing of Poverty, Inc. and have a talk back about it. Because if we think we got it bad here in America and there's poverty, I'm gonna show you some stuff. But I'm gonna also show you some of the things that the media and some of the things that some nonprofits and some of the things that just people perpetuate to make money off poverty. But when we're discussing Black history, right, there's so many narratives, and every time we hear about it, they only talk about slavery. They overlook the history, which is significantly long, of Black history, of African civilization that thrived literally for thousands of years before white people discovered them, which is a whole other issue of a white person showing up and discovering something and says they discovered it and it was already there. How did you discover America when natives were already here? How did you discover rainforests when people were already living there? Like, what is that? It's a level of arrogance. So before the European colonization, before the transatlantic slave trade, and we're gonna talk about the Middle Passage sometime this week, Africa had powerful empires, advanced societies, and rich cultures that contributed significantly to the progress we have today. Just look at Egypt. Look at the libraries. So we're going to talk about that today. I'm going to talk about some aspects of African civilization before slavery. If you want to join me and talk about it, 833-212-1017. We're going to talk about the rise of ancient kingdoms. We're going to talk about economic prosperity and trade. We're going to talk about political and social structures. We're going to talk about, watch this, the scientific and the intellectual achievements we have that we've always had, but that you took for granted that somebody in Europe did it. And then, of course, we'll talk about the cultural and the artistic expressions, the things and the legacies that we see today. We have to understand, notice I said we. I didn't separate Black versus white versus Asian versus Hispanic versus Pacific Islander versus Native versus, right? Us, we in America need to understand that our history is complex, but it's also rich. We have a rich and a complex history. It was truncated by slavery. And stop looking at everything as it relates to slavery and African civilization as in black or white, left and right. You only get two choices. No, there were many, many, many more choices. There were many, many reasons why slaves got to America. There were many, well, did they get to America or they just came here? Anyway, so we have one of the things we're going to talk about that I really want to jump into is ancient African kingdoms. And I've picked four that I want to dive into that I want to look at, that I want to talk about, that will give you an idea of how much power we have historically and why many of the things we have today are here because of what those in the continent of Africa did. And so somebody told me, you'll be on your show and you'll be talking about white people a lot. I said, no, I'm talking about white culture. I'm not talking about white people per se. I have white people in my family, white people I love dearly. So stop. I'm talking about the culture when I say white. Just like when I say black, I'm talking about the culture. And so we need to come to grips. The things that these cultures demonstrated, including the military structures that had the white man not had guns, we would still be in Africa. We're going to talk about Abraham Lincoln, who I deem as one of the worst presidents ever. That's a lie. Let me tell the truth. Abraham Lincoln was the worst president ever. He was terrible. We're talking about a guy who actually said, right? They tell the nice part. If I could get the country together, but, my fake voice. If I could keep the country together, but keep slavery, I would. Because it was a moneymaker. That's how he made money. His wife, Mary, inherited slaves from her father. He sold them for money. So make no mistake. It's me. Abraham Lincoln was garbage. And you know why? Because before he died, you know what he was doing? Looking to gather enough ships so that when blacks became free, he could ship them back to Africa. Now, we talk about racism, but then you got Abraham Lincoln. So when we start putting these pictures up of the three presidents, or we put the pictures up of the people, don't put Abraham Lincoln in there. No. Abraham Lincoln is garbage. He was a racist. He was a slave seller. If you own slaves, okay. But you sold them. You made money off of us. That's the problem. And make no mistake, our greatness is yet to come.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Marcus and Chris are joined by Bucks analyst Steve Novak. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
It's party time at Cousins Subs. For a limited time only, Cousins is bringing back their famous 2-foot party subs. Whether it's for a big game, family gathering, or work celebration, Cousins 2-foot party sub is sure to be a crowd pleaser. Choose from the club, ham and provolone, Italian special, or turkey. Each party sub is just $39.99, feeds 5 to 8 people, and requires 24-hour notice to order. Order today through February 9th in store, online, or on their app. Cousins Subs. We believe in better.
The MPS City Conference basketball season is starting to heat up, and we are bringing you all the live hoops action right here on 1017 The Truth. Tuesday night, we have a battle between two classic MPS rivals as the Bradley Tech Trojans host the Milwaukee Hamilton Wildcats. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth app and 1017thetruth.com. City Conference basketball is sponsored by Milwaukee Public Schools, MPS Proud, and presented by Gruber Law Offices.
People often wonder, what's the credit union difference? Well, Let me tell you what's different about Educators Credit Union. We're more than just a financial institution. We're a team of people who are actively invested in the next generation and in the communities where you live and work. We're in classrooms teaching financial literacy, in neighborhoods building homes and relationships, and in local communities lending a helping hand. We believe when communities thrive, we all thrive. Educators Credit Union, achieving more together, insured by NCUA.
Truth Nation, get ready to celebrate excellence, passion, and the power of community as we host our first annual Truth Community Awards on Friday, February 28th at Potawatomi Casino and Hotel. This will be a Truth family party where we will celebrate the unsung heroes of our community and we roll out the red carpet for those making a positive impact every day. Tickets are selling fast, so go to 1017thetruth.com today to make sure you do not miss out on the biggest celebration in Milwaukee. Tickets are only $25 and includes free food, free drinks, and free Truth giveaways. Don't miss an evening filled with entertainment, heartfelt stories, and celebrating our city with the 1017 The Truth team. Visit 1017thetruth.com right now to buy your tickets to our Truth Community Awards. That is 1017thetruth.com to secure your spot for a night of celebrating the excellence of our community. The Truth Community Awards is presented by Potawatomi Casino and Hotel and brought to you by the award-winning 1017 The Truth. This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host. Look at this. Look at this mess. Look at this. Look at this. If you are on the talking text line, no, but you can't see on the talking. If you're on YouTube, look at this mess. And every day I say, I'm going to wrap them up and I'm going to put them in there the right way so they don't get all tangled. Every day I got to untangle my headphones because I'm too lazy to just actually go in and actually do it. Isn't that a shame? Isn't that a shame? 833-212. 1017 is the number. So before the break, I was a little heated, bothered, flabbergasted about this whole thing about civilization. So I want to go to the talking text line first because the caller said, good doc, history is told by the people who annihilate cultures and create empires. If you only see the world half empty, sure. Awesome take, Doc. There are African people who were instrumental in the transatlantic slave trade. Comedy on the truth. The man who freed millions of slaves is the worst president ever. That was your comical ever. See, so watch this, the caller. Watch this. And then you added, not Jefferson Davis who led a terrorist group to attack America, LOL. The problem and the thing you don't understand is you don't know your history. You know what they taught you and what they told you. Abraham Lincoln was looking for ships so that when slavery was over, instead of you coming to get the Freedmen's Bureau and make money and do all those things, he actually wanted to ship your behind, your ancestors, which are probably your great-grandparents, back to Africa to get them out of this country so it could be white and pure. He only ended slavery to keep a hold of the presidency and that the country wasn't divided north and south. And they didn't want the South to take over. Because if the South had taken over, guess what? We would not have ended slavery. So when you learn your history, come back and holler. Till then, I'm not really feeling that. And if you need to know, I got a couple books that you can check out on Black history because he was terrible. Lincoln was terrible. He was a terrible president. And so when it's whitewashed, right? when it's whitewashed and white people write the history book, they made Lincoln out to be this great guy that ended slavery. The only reason he ended slavery was to keep America together, find some ships, and ship us out of there. So don't get it twisted. He'd have been talking that same thing. Hey, y'all not citizens. Y'all came over here on a boat, so you're not American citizens. You weren't born here. 14th Amendment. Right? Right. Go read a book. 833-212-1017 is the number. So what are some of the earliest, most powerful civilizations in history? You got any idea? In Africa. What were they?
I know Egypt.
Egypt. So ancient Egypt, 3100 BC. I don't do this before current era. I love Jesus. Sorry. Ancient Egypt, 3100 BC. Not 31, not 310. 3,100 years before the birth of Christ until 30 years before the birth of Christ, or around the time Christ was born, Egypt. One of the world's earliest, most advanced civilizations. Black people. Known for pyramids, hieroglyphic writing, but their level of government was amazing. They handled their people. But what was the most important thing about Egypt? The Nile River. And the Nile River is one of the most fertile landscapes for architecture and trade. But then the caller says, good doc, you must not know your history. Some slaves might have actually been able to return. So what? So what? What's your point? Like, what exactly are you saying? They would have been able to return to their families. They'd been here for 10 or 15 years. They didn't even know. They don't even remember their families. They got beat so they couldn't even have to, so they wouldn't even have to remember their language and their name. Like what? Here's what I would suggest to you, caller. Go back and watch Roots. Help yourself. You're hurting yourself. But then there's the Kingdom of Kush, as you mentioned. 1070 BC to 350 BC, located in what's now known as present-day Sudan. And I've got friends who are from Sudan, practicing Muslims. Kush was a rival to Egypt. So if you can imagine Canada and the U.S., they work together. They work together. But they kind of rivals, right? Yeah, you can make it. No, we'll make it and we'll export it to you. No, we'll make it and export it to you, right? But Kush ruled over Egypt for a minute. At certain points, at different points in time. Now remember, Kush was only around like 1070 BC to about 350 BC. Egypt was around 3100 BC to about 30 BC. So Christ had already been born. So we're talking about the kingdom of Kush that probably got smacked around when they tried to, we're going to come take over Egypt. And they got jacked and run out of the place. So if you want to think about the kingdom of Kush, think about where Sudan is. The Kushites built pyramids, ironworking, and major trades because they had the network, because we had the Nile that ran through Egypt. But then there's the kingdom of Axum. And that's the one I don't care more because I care about the Dahomey people, my people. But Axum was 100 AD, right? 100 years after the birth of Christ to about 940 years after the birth of Christ. You know it as a country called Ethiopia. And Eritrea. Their advanced civilization built those obliques. And you know what an oblique is, like the Washington Monument. They did trade with Rome and Italy, India, and they were one of the early African civilizations to become Christian. But then, and if you think, that's northeastern Africa, but when you go west, you've got some Western empires. You've got empires like the Ghana Empire that was 300 to 1200 AD, or which is Anno Domini, after the birth of Christ. I don't do the current era before current era because anyway. So then one of the first great Western empires, Ghana, became wealthy, still doing well today, through trans-Saharan gold and slave trade. So if you can't get through the Saharan desert, right, but you've got people that are indigenous to the area, they can do things that you can. They can travel ways you can't. And one of the ways they did it, right, was to trade gold and salt. But you can't get that far unless you understand a couple things. We already talked about the military structure. We already talked about economic, but the powerful thing is something I mentioned earlier, advanced political civilization. You had to keep a lot of people happy because you were making a lot of well, in quotes, money as it relates to trans-Saharan gold and salt trade. The cool thing about it is the structure that they set up in Ghana trickled over to other empires, and they were able to duplicate it and build their civilization up. And so it's not lost on me that if ancient Egypt started 3100 BC and Ghana went to 1200 AD, that there's some quote-unquote cross-pollination there. One kingdom learned from another kingdom, learned from another kingdom to create the Ghana Empire. And so when we come back, I want to look at the economic prosperity and trade networks. So we talk about not making money, and we talk about not having anything. We're going to talk about all the things we used to have, but also all the things that we're going to have. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. 833-212-1017 is the number. Traffic, sports, and weather up next.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It's time for the 32nd Annual Young Gentleman Scholarship Botillion, presented by the Seven Jewels Foundation and the Delta Chi Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. A Botillion young gentleman is a high school senior in Milwaukee who's about to embark on adulthood and has chosen to pursue higher education, college, trade, or technical school. One lucky bowl will win a $5,000 scholarship. Apply by February 21st, 2025, and for more information, call Kevin Patterson at 414-364-2835.
This monumental moment in Black history is sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep Educators Credit Union, the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin, and American Family Insurance.
Poet, activist, educator. Nikki Giovanni was a literary force who used her words to inspire change. Born in 1943, she became a defining voice of the Black arts movement, capturing the struggles and triumphs of Black life through poetry. With works like Black Feeling, Black Talk, and Ego Tripping, she celebrated identity, activism, activism, and resilience. A fearless advocate for race, feminism, and social justice, she shaped cultural conversations for generations. A 7-time NAACP Image Award winner and Langston Hughes Medal recipient, her influence stretched from the page to the classroom as a professor at Virginia Tech. Though she has now passed, Nikki Giovanni's words remain bold, unapologetic, continuing to inspire those who dare to speak their truth.
Listen to 1017 The Truth all month long as we celebrate Black History Month.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Seriously injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today.
Eastbound on 894, right about at 60th Street. We did have an earlier disabled vehicle in the left lane. That has been cleared. Unfortunately, the delays are there all the way back through the hail up to National Avenue. Southbound on 43, backing up from Kilbourne all the way through the Marquette and onto the high-rise bridge. Westbound 94, slowing down from 16th Street to Hawley Road. Eastbound 94, that's going to be a little heavy. We're seeing delays from before Barker Road all the way to about Calhoun. And then again, east of 84th Street, all the way through to 35th. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies, a low of 23. Tomorrow, cloudy with an afternoon light mix, a high of 32. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 1017 The Truth.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snime. The Milwaukee Bucks lose again as they fell to OKC on Monday night. This one by a final score of 125-96 as they lose now their fourth game in a row. Giannis, Damian Lillard, Brook Lopez, Bobby Portis, and Chris Middleton all missing this one last night. Head coach Doc Rivers talking about that after the game.
I really wanted to. My instincts told me to fly him directly to Charlotte. Yes. Today, that's a bad look, and so I didn't do that. And I didn't want to waste the owner's money on fines.
The leading scorer for the Bucks last night was Ryan Rollins with 16. Next up is Charlotte on Wednesday night. And last, over to college hoops, for the 11th-ranked Marquette Golden Eagles will take on the 12th-ranked St. John's tonight on the road. That tip-off is set for 5:30. The sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Through and through, and though we made it through the storm, I really want you to
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris, and we proudly celebrate Black excellence in the most monumental moments in our history. Tune in all month long as we celebrate the voices, the stories, the achievements of those who've shaped history and inspired the future right here in Milwaukee. 1017 The Truth celebration of Black History Month is sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, Educators Credit Union, the Freighter, and the Medical College of Wisconsin, and American Family Insurance, where I broadcast from, the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue. 833-212-1017 is the number. Let me check my talking text to see if any real people. No. Okay, we're not going to. Okay. Let me check. Yes. And Nicole said, thank you for the great history lesson. Oh, I ain't done. I'm not done. We got the whole show minus top 5 at 5. We're going to be talking about it because I want to talk right now about economic prosperity and trade networks that were prevalent in Africa. So every economy, right? One of the reasons why the country and the president are complaining about tariffs right now is because trade is the backbone of a civilization. And so when you talk about trade, sometimes people take advantage of trade, and instead of just trading, they put a tariff on. Hey, well, if you want to bring it into my country, then we gotta make some money off of it. Well, if we got to put it in your country, we got to make some money off of it. But trade was the backbone of a lot of African civilizations. That is how they flourished. That's how the kingdom of Dahomey, when they had all the riches, but they didn't really know what they were because they didn't have a process to sell those riches, like gold, diamonds, stuff like that, right? But the English did. So they came in and they traded. And when that ran down, what they did is they then traded the slaves that they got because they what? Your tribe fights with my tribe. We take you hostage. We sold you. And so that's how, in many instances, slaves got from Africa to America. But when you think about economically and how they had to expand influence across these civilizations, Africa had natural resources, right? Think about it. Gold, salt, ivory, spices. Europe, Middle East, and Asia wanted all those things. So that's where they came to get them. When you look at the Mali Empire, 1235 to about 1600 AD, under the rule of Mansa Musa, and you should look that up, by the way, Mali became one of the wealthiest civilizations ever in history. Mansa Musa's pilgrimage to Mecca in 1324, where he distributed what? Of the gold, salt, ivory, spice, what do you think he distributed in Mecca?
Gold.
Yep. Why is that? Don't think in today's thinking, right? Think about 1324. Like now it's 2025. Think of the year 1324. And Mansa Musa went to Mecca. And when he was there, he didn't trade spice. He didn't trade ivory. He didn't trade salt. He traded gold. Why is that?
Was gold more valuable than all of that?
But how about I know that?
That's a tough one.
How do you know something today is more valuable?
Did more people want it? Was it more coveted?
More people wanted it. It was more coveted. And when I got vast amounts of people coming to me for this, I know it's something.
Supply and demand.
Of value. But this is why. And this is why the trade made the Mali Empire one of the wealthiest in Africa. But then you have great Zimbabwe. 1100 to 1450 AD. It was a trading hub, right? So that's smart, right? I'm gonna play the middleman. Y'all can come through here. It's like Mexico trading with Canada, but y'all got to come to America, so y'all got to pay. It's the person that sold the shovels, right, to the people looking for gold in San Francisco. So we had the California gold rush. Who made the money? Not the people finding the gold. The guy that sold the shovels to the people looking for the gold. They were a trading hub, Zimbabwe, because they had control of passage from the interior of Africa to the coast, which means they controlled your trade route. And it's a stone city that's around to this day. The architecture is around to this day. They've also got good economic power in Zimbabwe. But then you got the Swahili coast, which really wasn't one particular group. It was a series of city-states, right? Smaller enclaves along the East Africa coast. Kilwe, trying to remember the other one. Mombasa. I think those were the two. They engaged in trade with Persia, India, China. But one thing they did, right? See, when I was growing up, one of the languages you wanted to learn because you thought about Africa was Swahili. Why is that? Because they blended cultures. They blended Africa. They blended the Arab culture. And they blended other influences. And so these economic structures allowed African civilizations to thrive. These are just three. But they thrived independently. Think about that. They thrived independently for centuries. And that's before anybody from Europe got involved. Think about that. Think about that. So when we come back, I want to look at, because we talked about it earlier, the structures that they had in these places. So it had to take structure. The Swahili coast, Zimbabwe, it took structure in order to build a political and social structure, to keep people in place, to be able to trade, to handle the coastal areas, to trade gold, salt. You have to have some kind of structure in place. So when we come back, I want to dive into what those structures look like. And the kingdoms that eventually came out of that. And some of them are still around today. 833-212-1017 is the number.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Start jamming in the morning and get your daily drop of juice.
Juice gets you hydrated and started for your day. And that's what we plan to do from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Every single morning, we're going to be keeping you in the mix, talking about everything you care about all before 9 a.m.
So wipe that crust out your eyes and get ready for jamming with juice.
Turning your mornings into your favorite part of the day.
Get that stank breath out of here. Brush your teeth.
It's it, bro. What? Catch Jammin' with Juice.
From 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Good morning, Milwaukee.
Get an 11% rebate on your bathroom remodel. Now at Menards. From tubs and showers to faucets and vanities, we've got it all. Are you looking to install a toilet in a basement bathroom without the need to break concrete? Right now, the SaniFlow 3-piece toilet system is $889.99 after 11% rebate. Good through March 10th. Savings are a mail-in rebate in the form of an in-store merchandise credit check. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The MPS City Conference basketball season is starting to heat up, and we are bringing you all the live hoops action right here on 101.7 The Truth. Tuesday night, we have a battle between two classic MPS rivals as the Bradley Tech Trojans host the Milwaukee Hamilton Wildcats. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m. on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth app and 1017thetruth.com. City Conference basketball is sponsored by Milwaukee Public Schools, MPS Proud, and presented by Gruber Law Offices.
People often wonder, what's the credit union difference? Well, let me tell you what's different about Educators Credit Union. We're more than just a financial institution. We're a team of people who are actively invested in the next generation and in the communities where you live and work. We're in classrooms teaching financial literacy, in neighborhoods building homes and relationships, and in local communities lending a helping hand. We believe when communities thrive, we all thrive. Educators Credit Union, achieving more together, insured by NCUA.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Don't you know what makes you beautiful? I'll do anything for you that I've never done before. Don't you know that you're beautiful? I'll do anything for you like I've never loved before. Let me notice your truth right now. Let me into your heart somehow. I'll make you feel
beautiful. I think we're so suitable. Don't you know that you're so special?
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Hey, Truth Nation, Milwaukee's biggest party on the lakefront just got bigger. It's called Summerfest. Just announced that the legendary Isley Brothers and Milwaukee's very own Eric Benet will be performing at Summerfest on Juneteenth at the BMO Pavilion. And of course, the award-winning 1017 The Truth has exclusive access for you. Tune in all day Thursday as we will be giving away pairs of tickets to see the Isley Brothers and Eric Benet live at Summerfest on all our shows. So make sure you hang around, and if you're not one of our lucky 5 winners, it's okay, because you can purchase tickets for the Isley Brothers and Eric Benet at Summerfest on June 19th by just visiting summerfest.org. That's summerfest.org. So Thursday, you better be here. And if you're not, you won't be there. Well, some of y'all will. 10 of y'all will. Other people got about tickets. 833-212-1017 is the number. Al, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Well, first I want to say happy Black History Month to everybody. You know, I noticed when Black History Month comes around, you know, they never talk about Aunt Polly Jackson, the lady who had meat cleavers, butcher knives, and hot kettles of water. They vaguely talk about Harriet Tubman, and they, you know, mention they really don't mention Jasmine Brand, who used the strength and the power of her hands when she fought the same bus driver that drove Rosa Parks. And I noticed that they only speak about Dr. King because he was very mild-mannered, and, you know, they really didn't want people guilty. So, you know, that you know, sends a lot of red flags to me, because the people who was about that same fire, that life, that chaos for their people, they kind of shun them. Like, you know, everybody say, oh, Dr. King, Dr. King. But when it came to Nat Turner, he was shunned. Or when they bring up Rosa Parks, and I understand she didn't give up her seat, but I know it was Claudette Colbert before her. Now, I also know with Rosa Parks, she was on the bus when she had her husband with a car, which I don't understand why she was on the bus anyway, and she got her husband with a car. But I noticed they never, ever get no kind of coverage.
Al.
Yes?
You're overthinking it.
You think so?
I think you're overthinking it. Check this out.
Oh, why?
Because the first girl they couldn't choose because she was pregnant. And they didn't want a pregnant girl being the, listen to what I'm saying. Don't get mad at me.
Oh, no, I'm not mad at you.
I'm just saying. So she was pregnant. So they didn't necessarily want a pregnant girl to be, who was out of wedlock and underage, to be the poster child for the civil rights movement. So then when it happened to Rosa Parks, they used her. That's all.
I also think she got coverage, too, because she was high yellow as well.
Rosa Parks?
Because, you know, that. Yeah, because, you know, during that time, they wasn't really a fan of dark-skinned. You know, dark-skinned, they felt like you've been out in the field too long. That's, you know.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the first time I heard that about Rosa Parks. I mean, she wasn't dark, but I don't know.
Well, you know, during that time,
but wait a minute. But what we can't do, Al, is take our sensibilities today and apply them 50, 60 years ago and say they were wrong because they don't think like us. We've evolved from that.
No.
That's what you just did. You said you thought they chose her because she was light-skinned. That's what they did back then. That was the thing.
Know, during that
paperback test.
Well, you know,
paperback test was the thing back then. Correct?
Yes, it is. Okay. I mean, there's something. You know, they have their little things now today, even though we're supposed to evolve. You know, but I think with everything that's going.
In what way? In that they support light-skinned people, or they bash dark-skinned?
Well, you know. Well, you know, the light skins, they usually give the light skins, you know, more of they feel like because they're light skinned, they're closer to white, so they either want to put them on media or put them in the forefront, and they want to keep the darks in the back from what I've been seeing myself. You know, I'm just trying to, you know,
and when was the last time you saw that?
I mean, we see it all the time.
Where?
I know I see it all the time.
Tell me where. Tell me where.
You know, TV, media, you know.
So if you control media or had your own, we wouldn't have that problem, right? But black people are like that too, aren't they?
Oh, well, yeah, that's a lot of self-hate, you know.
Stop it. Stop using your experiences to tell what's wrong with other people when you don't know. You don't know that that's self-hate. You don't know that that's self-hate. Stop.
I mean, well.
I can appreciate you saying it. That's your point of view, and I respect that. But don't say people have self-hate because they don't like light-skinned people. We don't know why. Maybe they got picked on. Maybe they got bullied growing up. Maybe they got kicked around.
I don't have nothing against. No, I don't. I mean, hey, I love everybody. Light skinned, dark skinned. You could be white as the clouds or dark as night. I love you and welcome you anywhere you go. I'm just saying this is what I've been seeing.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
But that's all. But we'll leave it there. Have a good day.
Appreciate you. I don't know. And maybe I'm just scared to have a show on colorism. But we gotta have a show on colorism, and we gotta have a show about hair. Because sometimes I look at black people and I go, dude, comb your hair. And then other times I go, eh. So here's my compromise when you got nappy hair, right? Get some oil sheen or get something that's slick. Shine it up. Make it look pretty. But don't be all dry with, you know, fuzz balls from your pillow and your hair. Like, that's just gross. That's just nasty. Did you even take a shower? Did you wash your hair? That's all I'm saying. Because then y'all going to be saying, you know, taking showers is Eurocentric. That's great. Be Eurocentric. You ever been to France? Anyway, be Eurocentric. Just don't come around me. Take a shower. But looking at a picture, and thank you, Al, for that call. Looking at the picture, Rosa Parks was pretty light-skinned. I'm just saying. I wouldn't call her high yellow. You know what I'm saying? But I would call her light-skinned. And for those of you that don't understand African-American vernacular, very light-skinned black people, they have nicknames. You know, just like y'all call me Oreo. Huh? Stupid. But the things we put up from people, right? Now, you talk about hatred. Anybody that would call you an Oreo literally has to hate themselves because they're comparing themselves to you. Either they don't have, like, I don't know what it is. I'm gonna take my own advice. I don't know why you do it. It doesn't bother me, but I just find it odd. Let's find it odd. But there is some truth to what Al said, you know? Was Martin Luther King considered dark skin or medium skin or what? I don't know. But maybe that's why they put him out front.
He was like brown skin.
Yeah. Maybe that's why they put him out front. He was darker and younger. Hey, put that dude over there. Yeah, okay, yeah. Something go bad, they'll blame him. Yep. Interesting. 833-212-1017 is the number. So Frank said, Ken, that was quick and clean. Sometimes Al loses. Neither one of us lose. It's called having a conversation. Is paper bag test comparing one's complexion to a paper bag? Yes. And if you were equal to the paper bag or lighter, you were considered good. And if you were darker, you were considered bad. And many of the slaves were darker because they were in the sun all day. And they put the lighter skinned slaves in the house. And so I find it interesting. I just find it interesting that people don't understand freedom. Somebody put on the talking text, a Confederate flag should be illegal just like the Nazi flag is in Germany. But we're not in Germany and we don't have the things that Germany has because Germany will take your rights from you when they decide they want to take them. We, thank goodness, have a constitution where you should be able to be adult enough, mature enough, and old enough to accept things and people that are different from you and live with it. Not go through doing things what Trump is doing and changing laws and adding executive orders for stuff you just don't like. That's ridiculous. Confederate flag? Absolutely. Fly it. If I ever have grandchildren, I'm going to teach them. You see that right there? Yeah. That is a sign of the fact that you live in a world where people don't like you. Not because of the amount of money you have, but the color of your skin. Because of the way you talk, because of your vernacular, your hair texture, your eyes, your nose, and your lips. Don't forget that. See, I think we did a disservice when we tore down all those statues. I want you to be reminded of your wrong every day. See, when you tore the statues down, you tore down any semblance of anything everybody did back during civil rights. It's like I got a fountain that says whites only, but then when I take the sign down, I tear the fountain out too, so you won't even remember that that's what we did. That's the problem in tearing down statues. Because then we forget. And you know what they say? You just might be doomed to repeat it. And sometimes it feels in America that we're definitely on that road. Hey, you're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Top 5 at 5 coming up right here next.
This Wednesday, the Milwaukee Panthers head to Indiana to take on conference foe, the IU Indy Jaguars.
Panthers ball down 69-63. Folks turns the corner, gets in from the left, and scores going glass. 69-65. Panthers down 4. 4:07 left.
Scott Warris has the coverage Wednesday starting at 5 o'clock on 101.7 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield. Tip-off happens at 5:30 p.m. The award-winning 101.7 The Truth proudly celebrates Black excellence and the most monumental moments in our history. Tune in all month as we celebrate the voices, stories, and achievements that have shaped history and inspired the future. 101.7 The Truth's celebration of Black History Month is sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, College Bound, Character Strong, Educators Credit Union, Achieving More Together, the Freighter, and the Medical College of Wisconsin. Let's push ahead. And American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
Prostate cancer screening is a simple blood test. It's a simple blood test. Get it done.
Your family history of prostate cancer increases the risk for all the men in your family. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Prostate cancer is most treatable when it's detected early. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Men, it's your life. That's why it's so important to talk to your doctor about getting tested. If you want info on how to take action, the Prostate Cancer Foundation is here to help. For more than 30 years, PCF, a leader in scientific breakthroughs, has funded cutting-edge research that speeds new treatments into clinics, helping patients live longer with fewer complications. Go to pcf.org to learn more about prostate cancer and how you can advocate for yourself. Remember, it's your life, and it's a simple blood test. Get it done.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle. Or forget extra diapers. And never give in to a meltdown. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never let them have too much screen time. And never bribe them for just one more bite. You say you'd never let them out in public without their hair brushed. Never, ever become a minivan mom. And you'd never give them your phone for a quiet dinner.
Calling boss work phone.
So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, no, it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
We are the home of Milwaukee Black Talk. 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris, 833-212-1017. That was for you, college dropouts that couldn't, read. I'm kidding. Jeez, you all are so sensitive. 833-212-1017 is the number.
Number 5.
I talked about this before, but I really didn't get deep into it. CBS 58 finally broke the story. Arrowhead Union High School District Policy Committee has approved some language changes to their curriculum development guides, which will soon go to the full board for a vote. And some parents are kind of upset. According to the board documents, the committee addressed technical corrections, and they reviewed the changes to various policy outlines for the district. In one of the changes to the curriculum development page, a line stating the curriculum would provide instruction at all levels designed to give a student an understanding of human relations, particularly with regard to American Indians, Black Americans, and Hispanics, will be removed, because I guess they don't care about those people when you're citizens. What's that saying? If you're white, you're right. If you're black, get back. Okay. I know there are members of the public that see a boogeyman behind every tree, but there is no boogeyman to be seen here, Farrah said, who is the board vice president. These all are legal decisions that our team of lawyers have decided to keep us safe and keep us on track to other districts. Yeah, because we all know we got to do what every other district do. So I guess Arrowhead will be in the trash pretty soon, I guess. They're going to try to whitewash our history classes again, and I'm vehemently opposed to that, says Sobek, who is Darcy Sobek, who is a parent who doesn't approve of the language change. Everyone needs to have a voice. For us to eliminate certain aspects of curriculum development, my child won't learn about the entire world that way. Darcy, they don't want your child to learn about the rest of the world. Your child is only supposed to learn about a white world. Remember, America only got here when the Pilgrims got here. What's that dude's name that discovered America? Christopher Columbus? Oh, that's right. He was in the Bahamas. And then he thought he was in India. That's how Native Americans became Indians. Stupid is as stupid does. Districts are required under Wisconsin state law, statute 118.01, sub 2, sub C, sub 7, and sub 2, sub C, sub 8, to provide an appreciation and understanding of different value systems and cultures, and at all grade levels an understanding of human relations, particularly with regard to American Indians, Black Americans, Hispanics, Hmong Americans, and Asian Americans, said Chris Butcher, an interim communications director with the Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction. So, the way the Department of Public Instruction went after MPS, I hope they go after Arrowhead and sue them. Sue Arrowhead. Go in, sue Arrowhead, and cause them the same anguish they're causing for everybody else. Now, is it that deep? No. Is it really that deep? No. You know why it's not that deep? Because they never wanted to teach it anyway. That's what's called virtue signaling. Oh, we're going to do it because everybody else did it. Oh, everybody else going to stop doing it? We're going to stop doing it. Well, you didn't mean it anyway. You didn't mean it anyway.
Number 4.
This also from CBS 58. Man is accused of pointing a firearm toward students during recess. A man who authorities say displayed a firearm near a Racine school during a recess time was arrested yesterday. They say around 1 p.m., just after 1 p.m., police responded to Wisconsin Lutheran School, 700 Grand Avenue, after a staff member reported while students were out at recess, a man who appeared to be intoxicated displayed a firearm. Police say a student witnessed the suspect point the firearm in their direction. The students were ushered inside by staff, and the school was placed on lockdown. Responding officers were unable to locate the suspect. Just about 3:30 p.m., officers responded to another call of a man with a gun, 11th Street and Washington Avenue, and the suspect matched the description of the suspect near the school earlier in the day. The man was arrested, and firearm was located. Man, that's what I'm talking about. That's good police work. Isn't that good police work, Jason? That's good. He wasn't even listening. Ain't that good? Ain't that good police work? Guy was at one school, had a gun, left. 3-4 hours later, they found him at another school in Racine. They arrested him. That's good police work.
That is insane.
Yep, if we could just get that kind of police work here in Milwaukee. Just saying.
Number 3.
Milwaukee Public Schools, this is from WISN.com. Milwaukee Public Schools is one step closer to naming a new leader after they got 50 applicants, narrowed down to 3. Finalists are Dr. Brenda Caselius, former superintendent of Boston Public Schools. You left Boston to come to Milwaukee? What is on your mind? Dr. Joshua Starr, who previously led Montgomery County Public Schools in Maryland. Woo! That's bougie land. And Dr. Andre Townsell, current superintendent of Calvert County Public Schools in Maryland. I guess everybody trying to get out of Maryland? What's up with that? What's that about? Everybody trying to get out of Maryland? I don't know. All 3 educators are vying to be the next superintendent of MPS. Dr. Starr says, my background and my track record is about excellence. Coming to the wrong place, are you? It's about making sure every child is in a great school. We're talking about public schools in Milwaukee. An opportunity to put my kids into Milwaukee public schools. I want to have skin in the game. Dude, he's trying to make your kids fail. He wants his kids to fail. I'm putting my kids in. You know how long that. Listen, dude, teachers, a lot of teachers and administrators don't put their kids in public school. The DPI, superintendent of the state of Wisconsin, she didn't put her kids in public school. She took them out and put them in Catholic school. So if she did that, what? On February 6th and 7th, the finalists are set to visit the school district for interviews, school visits, and community forums. Here's what I would suggest. Take them to the worst schools. Let them see what they're putting up with. So listen to what he just said. Dr. Starr says safety is number one responsibility of a superintendent of school. No, it is not, knucklehead. It's education. Y'all can strike Dr. Starr right now. Just strike Dr. Starr right now. Safety? How about education and safety? Why don't you educate the safe child? There's no excuse for not having safe schools for both students and adults, and working with local police department is essential. School resource officers, we ain't even got them yet. Garbage. I have a track record of working with school resource officers to make sure we're aligned with how we ensure a safe environment. You ain't never been to Milwaukee again. I want to listen to parents, listen to educators, listen to the community. I do not know it all. Do I have strategies? Absolutely. Do I have the skill set? 100%. But it's important to ensure that I apply it to what I've learned from the community. Okay, so who's educating my kids? The community or the teacher? Okay. The afternoon sessions on the 6th and the 7th, 2 public sessions are scheduled for February 6th at the MPS office, where community members can meet the candidates and provide feedback. To what? You've already chosen them. What do we? Anyway, the afternoon session runs from 1 to 3, evening session 5:30 to 8:15. Each candidate will give a presentation, answer moderated questions. So you only get questions that they give you. You can't answer nothing for real. Yep, I'm not going. That's a waste of time. That is an absolute waste of time. If you can't answer a real question, you're probably not a superintendent. So then what would you call that person? Oh, I know what it is. A joke.
Number 2.
This from Fox6Now.com. Here's what we know. According to the criminal complaint, Brookfield police responded to a residence after a man indicating he'd been stabbed in the neck by his girlfriend, and the girlfriend was later identified as the defendant, a 32-year-old Kaylee Brantner, Brantner. She faces a single count of first-degree reckless injury. You know, if they were arguing, they probably would have charged her with disorderly conduct, recklessly endangering safety, domestic violence. Oh, that's right. It's a white girl from Brookfield. My bad. I'm sorry. That was stupid of me. That was dumb. When officers arrived, they found the victim holding a towel to the left side of his neck. They spotted the defendant sitting on a couch nearby. In the kitchen, they discovered a large kitchen knife with a pink handle with red blood on the blade. That's what the complaint said. Detective spoke with the victim at the emergency room of the hospital. Detective told the victim, he and the girlfriend, you ready? Guess what they was fighting over? Like if you had a fight with your girlfriend and you got stabbed, what do you think that fight would have been over?
Cheating?
Cheating? Okay. Anything else, Glenn? What? Like your girlfriend.
Probably the TV remote. They was trying to find a show to watch.
Your girlfriend, Jack. What kind of girlfriend you got that she would stab you for a TV remote? And what kind of woman do you know would even control this TV remote? If you're not the man of your house, that's your TV remote. She can go get another TV. What you doing? Real men control the remote. That's all I'm saying.
He from New York, though, so
you from New
know,
York?
they do it different.
That's right. You from Harlem. You don't know no better.
Relationship issues don't know a region.
Yeah, they do. Clearly, New York. Y'all get punked. Okay. No man in his right mind would turn over the TV remote unless he's dead. If you fall asleep, your fist should get tighter around the TV remote. What are y'all talking about? Oh, my goodness. They had a disagreement about using their house as a wedding venue. If y'all can see the face they just made. You all both made the exact same face and leaned your head in opposite directions like, wait, what? Like, what? The victim told police he had woken up to text messages and screenshots between the defendant and his mother, and this caused an argument. And court filings say the victim said he returned home from work early, and the defendant attacked him without warning. When he pushed her away and walked into the kitchen, she followed him, grabbed the knife, and the complaint says moments later the defendant attacked him and tore his entire shirt off. Dude, you got punked. If you're fighting anybody, once they pick up a knife, that's not a fight anymore. And you were close enough that you got stabbed? Come on, dude. When it's a knife, it's only a couple things. Like if someone pulled a knife on you, what would you do? Like you're in an argument and they pull a knife out. What would you do?
I'm trying to do something. Kick it. Kick them. Get the knife from them. Okay. Get the knife from them. Something.
Watch this. You ready? It's a one-word answer. Run. You know why? In most edge weapons fight, somebody gets cut. And in people's minds, right? Because your mind is a powerful thing. In most people's minds, when you get cut, people think they're going to die. So they can get a minor cut, they can bleed, and they'll literally sit down and die because in their mind they think if I get stabbed, I'm going to die. So guess what? Don't get stabbed. Leave. Run. I mean, if you're going to be a punk all the way. But be alive. Like, can you imagine? Hey, dude, so what happened to you? Oh, my girlfriend stabbed me because she was arguing with her mother about using our house for a wedding. And so you went in the kitchen. First of all, we arguing, right? I'm going to go somewhere where there are weapons all over the room. Baby, we going to get into an argument, and to end this, I'm going to go to the gun shop. Really? 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 You're going to go to the gun shop? Yeah, we was arguing, so I thought I'd get away from it all, so I went to the gun shop. Is that where she shot you? Yeah, that's where she shot me. Oh, okay. So you got into an argument, and so you went in the kitchen with a person under emotional distress. You went to the one place in the house with like 500 weapons. Okay. I don't know who wrote the script, but when they came up with the phrase "stupid is as stupid does" in Forrest Gump, they nailed it. Sort of like Donald Trump.
Number 1.
So this from CNN Politics. So the Trump administration is doing something that I partially agree with, but I also think is kind of stupid. So here goes. The Trump administration has begun drafting an executive order that would kick off the process of eliminating the Department of Education. This is the latest move by President Donald Trump to swiftly carry out his campaign promises. The move, and this came from two sources familiar with the plans, told CNN. So they have, they got proof they did the whole journalistic thing. The move would come in two parts, the sources said. The order would direct the Secretary of Education to create a plan to diminish the department through executive action, and then Trump would push Congress to pass legislation to end the department, as those working on the order acknowledged that shuttering the department would require congressional involvement. Now, I understand why we're getting rid of the Department of Education, because that's like how many $1 billion that will go back to each state. And so I think I looked it up the other day. U.S. Department of Ed budget. So when you look at their budget, you ready? It's $102.71 billion this year, distributed across 10 sub-components. K-12 education, which is Title I, early education, and college access and completion. And some of that school loans and some, they process all that stuff. And now the Department of Education processes financial aid because those other companies jerked us around and did all sorts of things. So if you're going to get rid of something, get rid of the school loans. Like, figure out another mechanism for school loans that makes them cheaper. Right now, people are graduating, and the federal government is telling them, you ready? Their school loan interest rate is 16%. You know how much mine was? I shouldn't even say. 2.1%. 16%. They will never get out from under that money. The flip side to that is if you have a budget of $102.71 billion, and you divide that by 50, that's a little over $2 billion to every single state. If your state, now let me look. Wisconsin education budget. So Wisconsin's 2023-2025 education budget. So how much is it? Of course they don't tell you the actual number. You got to go digging. It's ridiculous. Don't you love how they just divide it up, but they don't tell you the actual number because they don't want you to know? $325. Every district will get $325 per pupil, 2024 or 2025. Okay, so how many pupils in Wisconsin? Okay, so that was $325. So how many students K-12 in Wisconsin? Let's see. I should have typed it out right the first time. How many students K-12 in Wisconsin? So that's 799,230. Now I know that number is higher. And so multiply roughly 800,000 times 325. And you're talking a number that, I don't know. It's got to be more than that. 799,000. Multiply. 800,000, roughly 800,000 students. 100 and what? 160 million. 260 million. So that's $260 million. If you just got rid of the Department of Education, that would put $2 billion at every single state. Just divide up Divide $102 billion times 50. I'm sorry, divided by 50. Think about that. $2 billion, poof. All of your education issues would be over. But we're complaining. Would they take all of it? Some of it needs to stay. We do need a Department of Education to force some schools to do what they're supposed to do, because some of the schools won't do what you're supposed to do. And so we need federal things, Title I, Title IX, to force schools to do what they're supposed to do. Mr. Trump, it's a dumb idea. It's a stupid idea. It makes absolutely no sense. Now, during his first term, he wanted to merge education and labor. That kind of made sense, right? Jobs, students, school, okay. Now, you've got dozens of employees placed on administrative leave Friday in their effort to rid federal workforce of employees associated with diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility efforts. Now, are you actually going to stop disabled kids from having access to education? But then again, that administration has Forrest Gump syndrome. But instead of being stupid is and stupid does, they just stupid.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. 1017 The Truth is now the proud home of Milwaukee Public Schools City Conference basketball. Tune in every week so you don't miss out on the classic rivalry game we all love, the high-flying dunks that leave us in awe, and the memorable moments where Milwaukee basketball legends are born. City Conference basketball on 1017 The Truth is sponsored by Milwaukee Public Schools, MPS proud, and presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
If you've ever worried about your heart, if you've ever loved someone with heart disease, if you've ever wondered if you're the one at risk, let's remind ourselves that we are not powerless. Because at the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, we're pushing to outsmart heart and vascular disease by working with you personally to understand your history, assess your risks, and guide you to heart strength. By digging deep with tireless research and offering access to leading-edge clinical trials. And for the most serious conditions, including heart failure, heart valve disease, arrhythmias, and vascular diseases, we provide renowned expertise and the most advanced life-saving procedures you expect from academic medicine. So let's get out in front of heart disease. Let's outsmart it. Let's keep pushing so that every one of us can outrun it and embrace every beautiful day life in Wisconsin has to offer. To learn more about our nationally renowned heart and vascular care, visit froedtert.com/heart.
What's up, Truth Nation? It's your girl, Noni Juice, from my friends at Steinhafels. Test Rest, a Beauty Rest black mattress at Steinhafels for your chance to win a dream vacation to Hawaii. Queen Beauty Rest mattresses start at just $399. Add an adjustable base and save up to $900, y'all. Queen Beauty Rest black mattresses start at just $38 per month when you use Steinhafels 60-month financing. Plus, get up to $300 in Steinhafels cash. Don't overpay for a good night's sleep. Shop in-store or online at steinhafels.com.
Sharon needed legal help. She needed Gruber Law Offices.
When I think about Gruber Law Office, I think about how they took care of me, how they make sure that you get what you're supposed to get. Gruber Law Office. One call, that's all. I will always trust one call, that's all.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
They are the best. I'm very happy.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded by American Family Insurance. Milwaukee Black Talk.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Yeah, I'm Godzilla.
Look around, brother. Grab jam, Dutch and Walls, rockin' the Look around, brother. Keep it hot. True hair, Def Squad on the top.
Hey, you know that I like it when you call me papi, but it seems like they did. But you've been seeing another Chico, and baby, you know.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris, for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit Pella at the Neri Spring Home Improvement Show, February 14th through the 16th. So where my music go, dude? Like, what we doing? What we doing? Like, I'm jamming to the music, just like, really? That's how you do me? Thank you. All right, let me do this. Really? It's 101.7 The Truth, Dr. Ken for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Experience Pella in person and get all your questions answered. Visit Pella at the Neri Spring Home Improvement Show, February 14th through the 16th. Get windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month. Rest easy with Pella's 10-year installation warranty. Book your in-home consultation at the show. That's the Neri Spring Home Improvement Show. And receive a complimentary Design Works consultation and Pella Care inspection. Visit PellaWI.com. That's PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply. Okay, you ready? Okay, turn it back up. Okay, you ready? There you go. We just being silly. It's silly. Because it's what? It's Tuesday. See, I guess I got the day right. Or is it Thursday? Or is it It's Tuesday, dude. Like, stop. It's Tuesday. The 4th. No, I ain't got nothing Tuesday. Today, it's a terrible Tuesday. I can give you that. I got to stop being. Hey, you know what? Radio is too much fun. Radio is too much fun. And you should stick around because 101.7 The Truth is home to Milwaukee Public Schools City Conference basketball. Latest MPS matchup tonight, Milwaukee Hamilton Wildcats take on the Bradley Tech Trojans. Tip-off is set at 7 p.m. The City Conference Game of the Week on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. The Truth at 101.7thetruth.com is sponsored by Milwaukee Public Schools and presented by Gruber Law Offices. Please remind me to tell you about what's making me laugh. Woo! I can't do it. I can't do it. It would be too funny. I can't do it. I can't do it. Traffic, sports, and weather up next.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com. Truth Nation, get ready to celebrate excellence, passion, and the power of community as we host our first annual Truth Community Awards on Friday, February 28th at Potawatomi Casino and Hotel. This will be a Truth family party where we will celebrate the unsung heroes of our community and we roll out the red carpet for those making a positive impact every day. Tickets are selling fast, so go to 1017thetruth.com today to make sure you do not miss out on the biggest celebration in Milwaukee. Tickets are only $25 and includes free food, free drinks, and free Truth giveaways. Don't miss an evening filled with entertainment, heartfelt stories, and celebrating our city with the 101.7 The Truth team. Visit 1017thetruth.com right now to buy your tickets to our Truth Community Awards. That is 1017thetruth.com to secure your spot for a night of celebrating the excellence of our community. The Truth Community Awards is presented by Potawatomi Casino and Hotel and brought to you by the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Here is Carrie Noni with her truth.
You know, sometimes the mundane isn't a burden, it's the beauty of living. I came to this conclusion after recently watching the movie Subservience on Netflix. It's a crazy film, y'all. I would suggest you check it out. But it's a story that explores our relationship with technology and how it's programmed to take our burdens away. This movie really got me thinking about how much we're wired to avoid struggle. We create tools and shortcuts to make life easier, whether it's robots, apps, or even outsourcing everyday tasks. But in the process, we risk forgetting the value of the little things we go through every day. Sure, folding laundry or grocery shopping might feel like chores. I literally dread cleaning up. But isn't there something grounding about them? Something that reminds us we're human. Life isn't just about the highlights or the easy parts. It's about the messy, repetitive, and sometimes inconvenient stuff too. Think about it. Who would you be if you didn't have to face the small frustrations that test your patience, or the routines that push you to show up for yourself or the people around you? The mundane moments, the ones we rush to escape, are often the ones that shape us. If life was nothing but convenience, where's the growth? Where's the grit that teaches us resilience? And most importantly, where's the appreciation for the moments that do take our breath away? So maybe the next time you find yourself annoyed by the daily grind and are on the brink of crashing out, you pause, you breathe, and remind yourself that the beauty of life isn't just in the big moments, but in every little thing that makes them possible.
This has been Truth Takes on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Listen to Jammin' with Juice with Ben Jammin' and Carrie Noni weekdays from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
We do have some backups now on southbound 43. Got a crash now at Locust off on the right shoulder. Beyond that, though, delays stretch all the way down through the Marquette, all the way to the KK River. On the northbound side, got some slowdowns from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Setter Street. On southbound 41, a little heavy from south of Silver Spring down past Capitol Drive. Eastbound 94, you got some backups basically from 76th Street to 35th. The westbound side is backed up from about 25th Street all the way to Hawley Road. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, mostly cloudy skies, a low of 23. Tomorrow, cloudy with an afternoon light mix, a high of 32. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 1017 The Truth.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Sneim. The Milwaukee Bucks lose again as they fell to OKC on Monday night. This one by a final score of 125-96 as they lose now their fourth game in a row. Giannis, Damian Lillard, Brook Lopez, Bobby Portis, and Chris Middleton all missing this one last night. Head coach Doc Rivers talking about that after the game.
I really wanted to. My instincts told me to fly them directly to Charlotte. Yes. Today, that's bad luck, and so I didn't do that. And I didn't want to waste the owner's money on fines.
The leading scorer for the Bucks last night was Ryan Rollins with 16. Next up is Charlotte on Wednesday night. And last, over to college hoops for the 11th-ranked Marquette Golden Eagles will take on the 12th-ranked St. John's tonight on the road. That tip-off is set for 5:30. The sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I am your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212. 1017 is the number. Where did we leave off at? We left off at scientific and intellectual. My favorite, I make no... Man, why the music be so short? Like, what are we doing today? You just cut stuff out. Okay, talking... Like, what is that? I know they told you to only play more... Don't play more than 5 seconds after he stopped talking. Just cut him off. Really?
I thought that was a fade.
That was not a fade.
Nice
that was a
fade.
drop. That was a drop. Like, really?
I'm thinking that's a nice little fade, dog.
No,
I go slower.
It wasn't. It was not a fade. It's not a fade. Your hair not even a fade. It must be. It's a terrible Tuesday. That's what it is. Terrible Tuesday. Terrible Tuesday, Wicked Wednesday. Because that's what I'm applying for.
Oh, if I said next Tuesday is the best Tuesday you ever had.
If next Tuesday is the best Tuesday I ever have, it's still going to be Terrible Tuesday. You know why? Because that's what I call it. Hey, everything else is stupid today. Why can't I be stupid? 833-212-1017 is the number. So contrary to what we think about black people, we have this thing that when we show black people on TV, in Africa, they ain't got no shoes on. They ain't got no shirt on. They all standing there together, the kids looking all nappy and dirty hair. And when in fact, and you know what burns me more than anything? Giving money to these international aid groups, and every single time they show Africa, anywhere on the continent, it's like black people are broke, busted, and disgusted. We have made significant contributions to science. We've made contributions to medicine. And I'm not talking about the Daniel Hale Williams type. Math and education. We are an intellectual civilization. Timbuktu, the University of Sankore. Timbuktu is located what we call Mali right now. Intellectual center, 14th and 15th century. Scholars from across Africa and the Middle East went there. But what do you think they studied? Astronomy, math, Islamic philosophy. We also did ironworking and engineering. The Nok culture, right? But we commonly today know as Nigeria, developed iron smelting and metalworking techniques long before they were doing it in Europe. So this thing we have in our brain of who created what and who came up with what really isn't true. Many of those things were already here, and they were borrowed. But now you have traditional medicine, herbal medicine, things like that. African societies have highly developed medical practices using herbs, surgical techniques that actually influence modern medicine today. The Dogon people of Mali had extensive astronomical knowledge. They understood the Sirius star system before people with telescopes found it. And so when we talk about scientific and intellectual progress, the stifling of those things, the cutting off of resources has caused many African civilizations to wilt. But these are achievements that can't be misconstrued. There's a definite misconception that black people were not scientific nor intellectual. And it's a lie. It's a lie. When we come back, I want to talk about African culture before slavery with art. And when I do, I want you to think about the Harlem Renaissance. Those times in the late 10s, the 20s, the 30s, when art and literature and poetry rule the world.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Coming with straight truth.
That person really planted the idea, even if it was successful or not, in the minds that it could happen. And eventually somebody tried it and didn't come back and didn't get caught. And then eventually more people tried it, and then it started opening up the doors for more things to happen. So it's never bad when you're trying to do something that ain't never been done. Because who knows how that looks.
Catch the Tory Lowe Show every weekday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axhousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help.
Attention families, Milwaukee Public Museum wants to remind you that Kohl's Thank You Thursdays are in full swing. Receive free access to MPM's permanent exhibits on the first Thursday of every month. Milwaukee Public Museum would like to thank Kohl's for their support and making this program possible. Visit MPM's website today for more information and to book your reservations. mpm.edu/KTYT. That's mpm.edu/KTYT.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
At We Energies, we're committed to building a bright, sustainable energy future. We're investing in clean energy projects like solar, wind, and battery storage. As a leader in the decarbonization effort, our goal is to achieve net zero carbon emissions from our generation fleet by 2050. It's part of our plan to provide the affordable, reliable, and clean energy you depend on. Learn more at WeEnergies.com. We Energies, people you can trust, energy you can depend on. This message was paid for by the stockholders of WEC Energy Group.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Wait. Turn the music down. First of all, it's a Michael Jackson cut. I don't want to hear no Michael Jackson music, number one. Number two, did you just say you don't know who George Benson is? One of the greatest jazz and pop guitarists? Are you kidding me?
I didn't know who that was. I saw it when I played the song. I'm like, this sounds like Michael Jackson. But I was like, because this song off Thriller. But then it said George Benson. I'm like, who is George Benson?
I need some help. 833-212-1017. I need help. Can somebody bring me some Tylenol? Are you serious? George Benson? Oh, Lord. I'm going to cry. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I'm just so taken aback. You don't know who George Benson is?
Never heard of him.
You know what that means, right? You don't know music.
Did he sing Give Me the Night? I don't know.
Yes.
Glenn just asked.
Yes. I don't. That is, I'm just so like, it's a terrible Tuesday. It is now officially a terrible Tuesday. I don't know what that was. Wow. I don't understand you. Don't shake your head like, oh, that's good, that's cool. Oh, the old music is cool. Like, stop.
This is hard. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm just so disappointed in you. I thought you were a music connoisseur. You thought you were a music connoisseur because you knew who that dude was, MJ. But you don't know this. Here it is.
Are we really happy here?
That's the same George Benson.
This lonely game we play.
Don't know who George Benson is.
He called.
Lord have mercy. Don't know who George. Don't know. But see, I don't get it. This is the kind of music you would like, because y'all like upbeat stuff.
I hear Mike singing on this.
Okay, we're done. No, do you like you do me? I be listening to the music, just cut it off in mid-sentence. Just cut it off.
I just start feeling that, Dr. King.
Well, that's too bad. It's a terrible Tuesday. What can I say?
I ain't even get to Shazam it so I can get the song.
I got the song you need to be singing. Yep, I got the perfect song for you.
Without you, baby, I feel worthless. I'm living on the edge. It's been an hour since you've been gone, and that's too long, so come back home. I can't live without you, so I'll cry for you. Do anything that I can to feel that touch from your hand. Sorry that I want you, lady, what do I do? You know you're everything I do. Oh yeah, do what you want me to. I would do anything. Get on my knees for you. Oh, baby, what else is there to do? I don't know, but I'll cry.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host. They were talking about Jason when they said, I'll cry. That's what you're talking about. I was just teasing him. 833-212-1017 is the number. So what we're doing is we're starting to play music that, you know, Like every other song, Jason goes, man, that's fire. And then he'll wait like 4 seconds and go, who is that? I'm like, come on, man. Y'all know who that is? George Benson. You know who Peebo Bryson is? Oh, Lord. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know. Eastside. Eastside.
What's happening? What's happening?
What's going on?
Kent.
What's up? You got literally 30 seconds to talk. You got 30 seconds.
Okay.
Hear the music. What's up?
I'll make it real quick.
What's up?
Well, that's your job. You know, that's part of your job is to educate. Educate the youth. Yes.
Yeah.
Corrupt the youth. Okay.
No, I don't corrupt.
Show them some R&B. Introduce them to the R&B, but don't make it a chore. Don't complain about it. Don't make it a heavy.
It's Terrible Tuesday. It's Terrible Tuesday.
I know.
I have to. I got it.
But you know,
I got it.
All right. Carry on. Play my song. Play my song now. All right.
Later.
Take care.
Hey, don't remember, or do remember. Don't forget. I was in the middle of don't forget and do remember, and I said don't remember. Wow. You know it's time for me to go home, but it's not time for you to leave. There's MPS City Conference basketball tonight. Tip-off is at 7. Milwaukee Hamilton Wildcats and Bradley Tech Trojans. So that's the City Conference game of the week. Sponsored by Milwaukee Public Schools and presented by Gruber Law Offices, so make sure you hang around. You can check it out here. You can check it out on the Truth app and 1017thetruth.com. Hey, God bless. Take care. Thank you. Appreciate you. Glenn, I don't know what we're going to do with that hat, but we're gonna talk about that after that. I don't know what we're doing. What we doing? Hey, y'all, it was a pleasure to have you here. God bless. Take care. Oh, DJ Brother Z, it's Tuesday. I'm out.